Oh, it's that time again.
It's that
Another
fucking
episode
time.
of Pex Pals with your hosts
CowVan,
and JoelCupcake.
Joel
Your
Cupcake.
boy.
Your boy.
Pardon my robe attire
No,
if you're
I was
watching
gonna
on
say
YouTube
something
today.
about the robe. I was gonna say something about it, but then I just accepted it.
You know, like on so I have a new thing I started on Saturdays when I stream. I stream in my robe, dude.
I like it.
Why not? Like I'm at home.
Well, I like it. I think it's a great idea.
I'm comfy.
I think showing that you're comfortable with yourself, everyone else will be comfortable with you too.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope. There's not a lot of stuff I hide on the internet these days. If
That's
you
true.
catch my drift.
I've actually had to censor the things I usually say on the internet out of respect for the lady of my life.
Oh yes, for Mrs. CowVan.
No, Ms. Katie, Ms. Angry Lady Lawyer.
Sorry, you're right. Correct.
2021, my friend.
You're right. I'm an asshole.
That's all good. Let's get into the tips, Joel.
The tips. You want me to start it off today, brother?
What is your tip for this week, man? Don't
pigeonhole yourself with your gear, with your loadouts. Like I've had a game or two where I like writ with the beak. You know, I writ, and then I spend a third game walking around with the beak with no hammer points the whole time.
Right.
Ready to rip, and then I lose a fight because I don't have the hammer points. I should have switched to the Eva long ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me and one of our buddies, Darth Waffle, just did a tournament on Friday, and I was so dead set on finding the Volt the whole time, and then like I lost a lot of battles because I had the Volt and not the Spitfire. I didn't have a bigger clip. I didn't have, you know what I mean? Yep. It doesn't fire as fast as the R3, stuff like that. Despite the fact that I feel like my aim with it is probably a little bit better than everything except the Spitfire, you know? Yeah. So my tip for all you other mediocre players out there in Apex land, hopefully Olympus, because we all know that's the best map. You know, don't pigeonhole yourself. Like, get comfortable with a variety of guns, you know? Like, I try to make sure I can rock, like, the Spitty and a shotgun, or the Spitty and the Volt, or the Volt and a sniper, or a sniper and a shotty, which I'm a big fan of that, but I know everyone always thinks I'm insane when I'm like, I'm doing triple take EVA 8, and people are like,
love that.
Huh?
I love that.
Oh, dude, the other day I did a, like, 6 kill game using only the gold Mozambique and an EVA 8.
I love that. I did that a while ago too. Yeah. Mozambique Eva, like I don't know. For me, it just works. But no, I like
what people don't realize with the Eva is you ADS that thing, and like there's a spread, but you're also not gonna miss.
Yeah.
So like if they don't have purple armor on, you can use all 8 bullets and you'll break someone's like white or blue shield, even if it's from a distance.
Yeah.
Plus, the other thing is people hear the shotgun and they freak out. They're like, who's trying to shotgun me from this? Like, who's the asshole? You know what I mean?
Right. No. I like your tip though. I like your tip because oftentimes when you join a match, you're like, I got to get the 301 or I got to get, the Volt. I got to get the Havoc or whatever the hell. And you spend all this time looking for that gun, and you may be like kicking ass that day with the alternator. You may be kicking ass that day with, I don't know, the Hemlock, like there's, playing how you feel I think that's a really good tip.
Yeah. I mean, I just watched you, for example, do the best game I played with you yet. Mm-hmm. You had what, a 13, 14 kill game when we played?
It was 13.
Yeah, and you use a fucking alternator, like for her what, 12 of the kills? Like
I used the alternator for it was alternator Eva, but the fact of the matter is I ran past multiple R301s, I ran past multiple R99s because the alternator was working. Why would I drop it for a quote unquote better gun if it's working for me at that moment? Yeah, no, that's a great tip. That's a great tip.
Exactly. What about you? What's your insight today, Sensei?
My tip today is something that I don't want to say is near and dear to me, but it's something that I use all the time, and especially because I played rank very heavily for the first majority of the season. Was not being afraid to use voice comms in ranked. Now,
in general, I would say, right?
Well. My point is this, right?
Okay.
Is and I keep talking about this, keep bringing this up. You and I played a lot of Overwatch, a lot. And if you play comp Overwatch on PC, everybody uses voice comms. Everybody uses voice comms because most of them are solo queuing anyway. Who the fuck has a 6-person team to play Overwatch still, right? Everybody uses voice comms because you're still expected in Overwatch to work with the team, to communicate. The same applies for Apex. Apex, the community is still very shy, but I found success by using I was able to solo grind to diamond because I used voice comms, and when I spoke to my teammate, we played better, and that's how I was able to get up so high. So don't be afraid to use voice comms in ranked games. You'd be surprised at how many people are willing to actually chat with you and work with you, right? And they're also not going to do stupid shit if if you're like, hey, I think we should bunker down here. They're like, oh, okay, that might be a better idea than rushing into this place to get killed. You know what I mean? So yeah, utilize those voice comms, friends. It might help you out in the long run.
I agree. I've actually had a little bit of success trying to do that. Mm-hmm. Usually it ends up negative and then goes positive. Usually it's like, oh, you're a dumbass. Why'd you drop us here? Mm-hmm. Or, it's me like, yo, I have a mic on. Like, can you turn your music down? And that's the worst, dude.
Oh, God.
When they're just like bumping like some nasty, like, especially when I'm streaming and they're bumping like gangster rap. And I'm like, yo, can you like turn the music at least down? Like, so I can communicate with you and we can try to win?
That's the best.
And I don't want to get TOS'd by something in a song. Anyways, that's not the point. That is not the point. Yes. Use the comms. I've won some surprising games in ranked, especially in ranked, just because I told my teammates, like, I'll do whatever you want to do, bro. Like,
that's my tip.
If you want to play aggressive, like, because when I play ranked, I just run a Watson these days because her new passive is
pretty good,
amazing.
Pretty good.
I know because I know you've been playing her when I'm not around. So
right.
Yeah, like I've been playing her, so I'm a little bit more comfortable. I can be defensive if I need to. I can do the defenses behind. My ult protects us from third partying a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be surprised at how many people still aren't used to Watson, dude. I've had so many teams lately where they're just like they just waste all their grenades trying to sideswipe me.
Right, but having that communication going with your teammates what is that noise? Having the communications going with your teammates in ranked will definitely help you out in the long run. Let's move into our first topic here. And speaking of ranked, we'll talk about ranked and how to progress in ranked and different play styles and just tips on what we both learned from playing ranked. So currently I'm in Diamond 4 and it was not easy to get there. It was very difficult. And like I said, like my tip was, for today was to use your communications in ranked. That helps. That's also another tip. Another tip that was showcased recently, I think it was last week or the week before. The streamer, it's Timmy. He solo queued from bronze 4 to masters in 33 hours in one stream. He did a 33-hour stream, and in those 33 hours, he solo queued grind from diamond or from bronze 4 all the way up to masters, which is insane, which is is crazy. But he showcased something that a lot of people should really pay attention to, right? It's that ranked is about points. It's not about placement. It's not about ratting. It's not about surviving. It's not about any of that. It's about points. Because if you can get the maximum multiplier, which is 6, right? If you get the maximum multiplier early on in the game, you can then, and by the grace of time, the higher placements that you get, the more points you're going to have if you lose in 5th place, if you lose in 7th place or whatever. If you get that multiplier, you're allowing yourself to get more points by the fights that you win. And so there was one game I was watching where he went from plat 1 to diamond 4. He had 15 kills in one game. He had like 15 kills, like 2,500 damage or some shit, some crazy number. And he won that game. And getting 5 kills or getting 6 kills and 15 kills in ranked doesn't matter. Right, because the points, right? As long as you max out the multiplier, you get those points. So getting 6 kills or 3 kills, 3 assists or whatever the hell, and 15 kills doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is, if you find yourself in engagements and you win them, you're getting closer to getting those points, right? Because he could have gotten 15 kills off a hot drop and died in 10th place, but he still would have went positive,
Correct.
That's the most important thing, is getting those ranked points, those KPs as people call them, kill points, getting those points, not being afraid to engage, because he played ranked the way he plays quick play. And when he did that, he got to master, so playing safe, playing conservative is not the way to play ranked, because if you get in a higher rank like diamond and masters, they play aggressive.
Well, you have to, because otherwise you lose once. Because I mean, I'm plat 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I get 0 KP, I have to get 6th place or higher just to not lose
5th place. Points. Not even 6th place, 5th place.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. For plat, it is 5th place.
Yep. Yep. You have to get into 5th place to go positive, and it's like +6. For diamond, you have to get 2nd place with no KP.
Yeah.
Because the entry penalty is -48 points, and then only until you get second place, which is you get positive 60 points just for making the 2nd place, you go +12. But what are the odds you're going to make 2nd place over and over and over and over to get 70 times to get 700 points to go from diamond 4 to diamond 3? That's not going to happen.
No, you
got to get those KPs.
Yeah. I mean. Calvin is right. One of my favorite things about ranked is that you don't have to be the clutchest with the shot. You don't have to be. I mean, if you ever watch It's Timmy, like, I mean this in the most respectful way possible, that dude is a robot. He is a literal killing machine. Like, when I watch him play, like, I mean, I am also on controller, so it's a little harder to have some of that like crazy 360 movement.
Right.
But like some of the stuff he pulls off, I'm like, huh? And like you see all the pro PC players and they're doing this stuff where they're like wall jumping in the middle of a fight. Like, we can't really do that on controller. There's guides on how to do it. Let me tell you, I've tried and it's like near impossible to get the animation right, because just how your sticks are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's not the point. The KP and the RP ranked points are what matter. So you won't have to be winning every single game. As long as you're getting a couple kills and or assists and doing well, the points are what matter, Yep. I got to ranked. I did a decent amount of solo queuing. Luckily, I had a bunch of teams most of the way through gold, and then when I got to plat, I stopped playing a little bit because I don't really have teammates. Calvin's one of the only people I have around that I can play with, and diamond lobbies are a whole different ball game that I don't like. I don't like at all. I dislike them, but that's not the point. I've never focused on rank before, so I was always casual with the game, and then like I did it this season and I got the plat 4. I'm very happy with that. I have no complaints, but as some of you might have heard us joke about in earlier episodes of the show, like, when in doubt, rat it out. Like, if you get those points, or your teammates have the points, you might as well hide it out and see if you can get that top 3 or the top 2. That's true. Calvin's even seen me do it. Like, literally, one of our friends calls me the Rat King. Yep. Because we've had games where like, the team got like 4 or 5 collective kills. So like I'll have like a kill and an assist. Somebody has 2 kills. Somebody has 3 assists. Whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm like, damn, we all have good points, and then we get rolled up on, and I'll just tell the Octane, like, run, run. Or I'm Caustic, so I'm like, hold up somewhere. I throw my ult and I just disappear. Yeah, because they're too afraid of my gas. Well, not anymore since that gross nerf, but that's not the point. Right. So like,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
Because so many people are like, oh, be aggressive. Don't rat. Don't play the game slow. But I a couple of the streamers I watch, like, we don't always watch the same people, Calvin. I know that, and I don't know what our viewers watch or listeners watch. But like, I watch Lulu Lovely a lot, and I like her because there'll be times where she's like, yo, there's 3 teams left. Let's hold this building or this part of the ring or this high ground. She's not like, let's just go find them and murder them, because she understands like, hey, we have the points. Let's hold, see where we get, and then see if we can get the last third party for the win. You know, like there's a little bit of tactics that come with Apex. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people think it's just all about the kill.
Right.
But until the game has increased in popularity, as we talked last episode about how they're switching more for like the DPS format.
Yeah.
You could be there. There's a reason the game put 3 technically defensive characters in, 4 if you consider Rampart defensive. You know, so I know the jury's out on that. Some people don't consider her defensive.
Right.
But, you know, there's a reason they're there, because you could play the slow game, post up in a building with Caustic and third party. You know, or like I'm a big fan. It doesn't really work anymore because the game's been out for a while. But you used to see those people that would do the Wraith thing, where they'd have a Caustic with a fully gassed up room, and they'd Wraith portal themselves into a team, get downed, and go through the portal to bait the team into all the Caustic traps. You know, it used to be one of the loveliest things I ever did see. And now you never see it, because A, there's less Caustics. B, I feel like I don't see that many Wraiths anymore. Like she's still prevalent, but she's not the number 1 pick anymore. Like Horizon's the number 1 pick now.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that's a good point you made, though. You said so ratting, and for me, my definition of ratting is jumping far away from everybody, slow playing the rings, and not engaging. That's what I mean by ratting.
Yeah.
Tactfully waiting for the opportune moment to attack. I don't consider that ratting, especially if you're in a top 5 situation. Everybody's in buildings. That's not ratting. Ratting for me is playing incredibly slow for no reason.
Yeah.
Right. Actively avoiding engagements early on in the game. That to me is ratting. Because you're doing yourself a disservice, because the longer you wait to
the better gear everybody has.
Exactly. The longer you wait, the better gear, the better guns, and the more set up and organized people are, because literally when everybody jumps, everybody's disorganized. At the beginning of the game, everybody disorganized, right? And that's the opportune time to get points. Because everyone's like, oh, where's my loot? Where's my loot? Right? Where's my R99 with the purple stock? You know what I mean? Like everybody's looking for all the quote unquote best stuff, and so that's the best time to get to for you and your team to be organized and to get your points, and then make it to the higher ranks so you get more of a overall multiplier. And you know. Having 3 KP at 5th place is a lot of points, and you should always try to be that way.
Yeah.
So waiting for the right moment, the most advantageous moment, is not ratting. Playing slow is ratting, and it's a waste of your time and your teammates' time.
Yeah. Now, unless you if you have a team, or if you get the unfortunate, like you drop in with a third and the third backs out right away or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Maybe you do have to play very safe. Yeah. And if you're in gold, you can still get points just from ratting. It's
easy. Yeah.
Like, but our point I think that we want to make is there's different ways to do it. You know, I had teams with us the way through gold. And then when I got to upper gold, I did a lot of solo to get the plat, and like that touches on my point from last week, where it's kind of like as you know, our future president Dwayne The Rock Johnson would say, know your role. You know, like I know that in some games when I load in, I'm the support person. Like I'm only going to get the assists, but like, so if I'm Watson, I make sure I have my shield in a good place where it benefits us and not the enemy team. You know, my shield, sorry, my ultimate. You know, if I'm Gibby, you know, I'll try to press the attack a little bit with my ult to create separation, to finish downs for the team. You know, I'll use my bubble for reses. Like a lot of Gibbies play hyper aggressive, but Gibby's supposed to be the healer. Right. Like if you don't have a lifeline, that's what the bubble is for.
True.
Like to provide cover and to get a res off. And if like I see so many people that don't do it like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're going to go into ranked, be real with yourself. That's the other thing. Like I know when I get these random plat games, like I had one the other day, I actually ended up being the kill leader of my squad, but it's because I had a great two random other solos supporting me, and we were all communicating.
Right.
You know, so like somebody would be a little out of position, and then I'd come in and mop up their kills, and like that's how we got the win. So there's a couple different ways to get it done in ranked, but just be smart, play well. You don't need a team though. Everyone you see, all the pros are always playing with the same people. You don't need a team. You can get it done. You're going to have a bad game. You're going to have your teammate that hot drops and doesn't know how to use his melee button. It's the nature of any video game, period.
It's true. On to the most recent news, Apex Legends, was the crafting exploit and the temporary removal of the crafting stations on the maps. Now, I don't really know much about this. Do you know what the crafting exploit was?
So all I know is that, ironically, you had to have a caustic to do it. That's what I've read online. Basically, it's some sort of glitch where you run up to a crafting station, right? Mm-hmm. And you toss your heat shield on the crafting station, more or less.
Yeah.
And like I saw a video of it on Reddit, and like basically you toss the heat shield and you drop the other one.
Okay.
And then there's something about it specifically being caustic, where like if you're in the heat shield crafting the heat shields, you can just keep crafting the infinite number of them.
Oh, that's so weird.
Like you craft 2 and drop 1 and then use 1. And then you keep doing it, and the one that you drop, you just keep having it's like a cycle. Like I don't know. That's why if you notice the first week, the heat shields were in the crafter, and now it's the mobile respawn beacon.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So because there was the exploit, but also the heat shields are something you should that should be hard to find on the ground and ranked. You know what I mean? Because people were definitely exploiting the shit out of it.
So what a lot of people were doing is, and I saw this on Reddit. The people were playing ranked, and they ensured that they had a Loba. And what they would do is they would be the final 3 in one of the final circles, and they would everyone holds 2 heat shields. And what they would do is they'd sit outside in the red zone, and they would drop heat shields one by one, so that there's 6 heat shields just one after another. And they had a Loba, so the Loba would throw up a shop, and they just keep pulling heat shields from the shop, and they just sit out in the red forever, forcing the other 2 people who were oblivious to what the other team was doing, forcing them to fight, and they just live perpetually in the red in these heat shields. And so they're trying to quell that and eliminate that. I don't know if they got rid of that completely, but people were doing that. Yeah. It was crazy.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of clips on like Reddit, and like I joined 2 Apex Facebook groups that are pretty awesome, and there's a lot of clips of it. Like, it's only happened to me once. Like we were fighting, like out in like the river area near containment, if that makes sense. Like
I know
at the bottom of where like the ravine meets the hill.
Yeah,
we're fighting over there, and we wipe a team, and then we die to the ring and get second place. And the other team is just sitting at airfield jerking off with heat shields.
Yeah.
And that's how they got first place. And I was just like, really?
Yeah.
Like, really? Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, I actually don't know how the exploit worked because I never did it. And also, I've been trying to replace the caustic main in my life because I can't anymore.
You can't. Yeah, with that nerf, dude.
Well, honestly, I can deal with this, like the recent nerf. It's the nerf before, like the whole when he gets knocked over, his gas dissipates.
Yeah,
I think that's garbage because it's not like Bangalore's missiles don't blow up if you down her.
True.
It's not like Gibby's bombardment ceases in midair.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why. Yeah, he has the obscuring vision.
Yeah.
And like that's apparently what the sweaty and high level players complain about is, it's more of the disorienting factor and it doing too much damage. Dude, you know what building you're in. Shut up. You know how to get there's literally Apex is a great game, but when you go inside a room, there's 3 designs to choose from. Mm-hmm. So what the layout of the fucking building you're in is.
Right.
So don't be a dickweed.
Yeah.
And say that Caustic's gas is too disorienting.
Yeah.
When I'm inside. It's not hard.
I agree. I agree with you.
I know.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So, It's funny to me though that the character that they nerfed to Oblivion is also the one that had the exploit. Like I think that that's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's a little weird, huh? Speaking of exploits, and speaking of something that that needs to be addressed, or well, first thing, what they did was everybody recalls if you played any of this event, the heat shield's going whoosh 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 at any random moment during your game.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So
it made it almost unplayable.
It did make it unplayable. I didn't play Apex for a day or two after playing it after the update because of all the whooshing. Mm-hmm. I couldn't take it. It made the game unbearable in my brain. Yeah. I couldn't do it. Especially because I'm trying to listen for things. I'm trying to listen for gunfire. I'm trying to listen for footsteps. I'm trying to listen to my teammates. I'm trying to listen to all these things, but you can't because whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Like what? But finally they fixed it. And thank the Lord, because it was unbearable. But one of the things that they still have not fixed is footsteps. And I don't know. I don't know. It seems like because you and I were talking the other day, it seems like it's only a certain handful of heroes that like get this footstep, glitch. Yeah. And for notably, I've had Horizon Mostly's who come up behind me unnoticed. I've had Bangalore's come up behind me unnoticed. I've had Octanes, and I've had Lifelines. Okay. Explicitly, those 4 heroes have snuck up on me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. The sound glitch, when it happens to me, it's 90% of the time, I'm not going to lie to you, it's been an Octane. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, but I see the green whoosh when he kills me. Yeah. So it's like, dude, he's using his Mountain Dew shot, as we call it. Mm-hmm. He's injecting himself. Mm-hmm. And he had to either jump to you or climb up something, and there's still no like that should be the loudest fucking noise. Hearing him spring off the jump pad and fly through the air to you, but it's not. Yeah, I've even had dudes climb up on the building I'm standing on, and I had not a single footstep.
Oh yeah, no, I literally had a Horizon sprint behind me. And get right behind me, not like from a distance, like literally 1 foot behind me, and shoot me, and I didn't hear anything. And it was funny because it was the last 4 squads, and I was the only solo, so I was just trying to wait it up, see what's going on. Horizon came up right behind me and killed me, and nothing else was happening on the game. So that whole 5 audio things at a time, whatever the fuck, that was someone said that it was not that, because there was nothing else going on.
No, it's just straight up audio problems. That's what it is.
I mean, majority of the time, I hear everything. Majority of the time, I hear every footstep. I hear every gunfire. I hear every mantle. I hear every jump, climbing. I hear everything. But it happens so often that it's noticeable. Mm-hmm. And it's a big bummer. It's a big bummer because it really takes you out of the immersion. You know what I mean? It's like that's the thing that gets me. It's not that I lost the gunfight. It's not that I lost placement or whatever the fuck. It's that my immersion was robbed from me. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and it's like I get mad when I lose a gunfight, but that's normal. But when you lose a showdown because you didn't even know the showdown was happening, that's not okay. I mean, it happened to me the other day, Calvin. I was doing duos with somebody, and it ended on. Man, what is it? There's the part on Olympus where there's the sniper radar dish. Mm-hmm. It's right on the other side of the pipeline.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I think it's solar relay or something like that.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So it's 3 teams left. Mm-hmm. And, 1 team's down low and 2 teams, and us and the other team are on opposite buildings, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the team down low, we start sniping at both, right? The team pushes us. So I see the Octane jump in the air and land. I'm like, cool, no big deal. I shoot the Octane. I throw my Gibby bubble down just to make sure I don't get sniped by the other people, right? Mm-hmm. Because they had a view on us. So I'm trying to be tactical with it, right?
Yeah. So
I throw the Gibby bubble down. Not shitting you. I put a clip into the Octane. I back up to reload my gun. And I recently increased my field of view to max. I see the Pathfinder jump up in the air, shoot his grapple, and whip around to me with a Mastiff out and land, and he two-shots me with the Mastiff.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what I didn't hear in that whole equation?
Any of it.
His grapple.
Yeah.
Like, which is supposed to be one of the loudest sound effects a character has, in my opinion. Like, you always hear those damn zip lines when you shoot them out, and you always hear the grapple. You do. Yeah. And, like, he literally shot it next to my fucking head to the box I was using for cover and whipped around to me. And then, like, I only knew because I saw him. I didn't even hear, and he still beat me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have time to switch to my shotgun because he already had the fucking Mastiff out.
He had the jump, yeah.
And it's so it's like, dude, like, it's like, I understand that, like, it's a smaller studio. I understand that, like, the reason we only get 2 maps at a time is they don't want to overload the servers. Okay.
Right.
I understand why they take that, especially right now during the pandemic, they're all working from home.
Mm-hmm.
So mad props to them even keeping this game afloat doing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, like, they'll fix things that are too powerful, but they won't give us, like, it's been a minute since we had a quality of life update. You know what I mean? Like, I think the last quality of life update was 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't even remember what it was.
Yeah. I mean, really the last time they changed a major game mechanic or fixed anything was when they did, hey, every shield is an Evo shield from now on. Like, that was the last. That was the last, like, quality of life thing.
After that was the way the inventory is laid out.
Oh, yes. Okay, there you go. Perfect.
I remember that. When you're looting. When
they changed the shield thing, where like, so it went, first we all get Evo shields, and then it was, what was it? The gold chest piece used to be the assassination refilled at everything.
Yeah.
That was just the gold chest piece that had that bonus, and now everybody gets it. So that when you do a finisher, you get your shield back.
Yeah.
That, you know, but there hasn't been, it's been a while. It's been a while. 2-3 seasons ago.
Quality of life, and I think because the game's in a good place right now. You know, the game's in a good place, and then the things that we're talking about, things that we have been talking about, have kind of been minor things that if you play the game, you know. And so, like you said, they're doing a great job keeping the game afloat, especially with increasing popularity and everybody's working from home. You know what I mean? Like,
there's been a big uptick in numbers, people streaming, the amount of people watching bigger streamers play it. Yeah, you know, like
so they're kudos to them for doing that thing. I'm not even complaining. It's just that like I said, the immersion. Yeah. So I play a game called For Honor. And it's like a fighter game where you get swords and things like that. Yeah. And I played that game. It's probably my most played game ever because I played it so much, and I still kind of dabble in it here and there. And it's on year 5 right now. And
I remember when that came out. I didn't realize.
Yeah, dude.
It's been 5 years. Holy shit.
It's been 5 years. And so I played that game to all 3 platforms: PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Like, I have it on all of them, and I have so much time in that game. But anyway, so like, the game is great, but there's so many things about the game that are just like bugs, right, and exploits in that game. And I was thinking about, I was like, why do I get so mad when I play For Honor, but I don't get as mad when I play Apex? And it's because those exploits are so prevalent in For Honor that it just ruins my immersion. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And Apex is a great game. And so the reason why the audio cues really, like, I don't say trigger me, but they really get me, is because it ruins my immersion. I'm in this game. I am Octane, and I'm actually injecting Mountain Dew into my chest, you know what I mean? Into my head, you know, like this is me real life, and then I get someone sneaks up on me and it ruins my whole thing. But I
agree. I'm with it. I haven't played a game consecutively this long ever, except maybe Destiny 1. Maybe. Right.
Oh God.
Because that was there had never been a console game like that before. You know what I mean?
No, it's true.
So let's not talk about Destiny. That ship sailed. Actually, that's actually my favorite multiplayer. Like if you have a game where you have a solo mode, like if you have a PvE mode and a PvE and a PvP mode, I think Destiny does have the best PvP based game mode around. That's not a BR. That's not. I will say that about Destiny.
Yeah,
but the rest of it's too much. The grind and the meta and them always like. It's like another game, just like Call of Duty. You have to use the same 2 guns over and over and over.
Over and over and over.
At least in Apex, it's like you can bounce around. You
bring up something that is kind of like rumor milled in the Apex community. After all the Fright Night events, right? Yes. After all the events, the Halloween events, the spooky events, whatever the hell that Apex had, where it's where they hinted at like single player campaign stuff where they actually had like a sort of a story to go along with whatever little missions you were doing. There was a lot of talks about a potential Apex single player mode, story mode type thing. And I would love that. I personally, because so to not segue too much, I'm hearing rumors of Titanfall 3, right? Which is the same people who made Apex. I'm hearing rumors of a Titanfall 3, which, holy shit, sounds amazing. But an Apex, because Apex has all these unique characters. And that'd be so cool to have like a Destiny style game where you're like fighting bosses and shit. You know what I mean? Like that'd be so cool. You're like Octane jumping in the air, you're like, you got her Watson's shield regen, you know what I mean? Like you're like you Gibby's ults and stuff like that. That'd be so cool in like a cave, a cave game, go into a cave, fight a boss, you know what I mean? Oh man, I would love a single player or like a team play like that.
That, or even if they did like a Telltale Games type story.
Telltale Games would be dope.
Like something like that would be just because like there's so much depth and like so I can't keep up with the comic books from all the treasure packs we collect. Like I don't want to go and like I did find a YouTube video where it's like the story so far. It's like, do I want to sit through that? Right. But then like I'm noticing like Mad Maggie made a comment the other day because I saw subtitles on, even though I just don't want to hear her, but I don't mind reading her. And it was like when Olympus came back into the rotation and there's like a comment that she makes or I hear one of the characters make with like, oh, back on Olympus, I wonder if this is going to change you just like the way it did AJ. Oh yeah. So there's like all these hints that Lifeline used to be an actual like bad bitch for lack of a better word, but like I mean like a bad person. And then like that's why like so the last thing I caught up on was after you reassemble Ash, who's from Titanfall, to kill Revenant or whatever, they talk about Olympus and they talk about this program. And like if you read the last page of the comic strip, it's Octane talking to AJ and going like they're talking to Lifeline and going, like, oh, I'm nervous about going back there. Like that's where I was created, and like none of these people know about our past together.
Yeah,
and it's like. So what were you sketchy in the past? Like what is that? Yeah. What is that like? The more we read this stuff, the more it's like the only person that's innocent is fucking Bangalore. like Pathfinder is literally built to just do something. Yeah. Like Octane's obviously has done some questionable stuff.
Right.
Caustic's obviously basically the devil.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Revan is basically the devil, but like
true.
It's there's so much. I love games with deep lore, right? But I don't love games with deep lore that I don't see. You know what I mean?
Yep. Like, so perfect nod to what we were just talking about. Destiny 2. So much of the lore you have to like go when you get a reference. There's a whole like index in the game where you have to literally go read it. Like at no point in time does it tell you. Like there's literally like hour-long videos of like, hey, you finished this raid in Destiny 2. This is what it means to this story. And these videos are like an hour because they store so much information out of the direct player experience.
Yeah, and I don't like that.
I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't like that. And so creating this, so for those who don't know, the Apex Legends stems from Titanfall, right? Yes. There's the same universe. the same uniform. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but a Titanfall pilot is like incredibly master god level compared to the Apex Legends. A Titanfall pilot could one shot every single Apex Legends by himself at the same time. Like that's how strong the Titanfall pilots are.
Yeah.
And so like so you already have this deep lore from this game that already exists. And with Titanfall, you get to see it. You get to, and, they introduced the campaign in Titanfall 2, and so hopefully we get some more of that in Titanfall if there's a Titanfall 3.
I got to go back and finish that, and not finish, but replay that campaign because it was good.
It's so good. But anyway, so you're creating this deep lore, this deep connection to all these Apex Legends heroes. Let's see it. Like I want to do it. Like I want to play a game like Skyrim. Every single thing you talk about in Skyrim, you get to do, or you get to participate in it in some point. Every single little daemon god or whatever the hell they're called. You get to touch it a little bit, right? But like Apex Legends, like comic books, like you know what I mean? Like I read, sure. I'm literate, sure.
Yeah.
But like I don't want to read something. I want to play it. I want to see it. I want to be engrossed in the story. And so hopefully, if they do bring in a single player mode or some type of campaign like that, it's something like that. I would love to see that.
Yeah. I mean, the rumor with the next mode is there's been a change to the firing range. I'm sure some of you guys have noticed that. There's a charge tower now. B, there's also like another area that people don't know what it is, and it looks like there's 3 tubes that come out of the ground. The rumored next edition is 3v3 arenas. So that'll bring, and I really think that's them catering to the MLG community.
Yeah.
I really think that's what that is. But I get it because sometimes you do want to, like, my squad versus your squad, like let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to work. That's supposedly what they're adding. It would make sense because like we said earlier, they only do 2 maps at a time because of server demand, because of resources. But if you add a 3v3 arena, that's not a whole lot of that's not 30 to 60 players in a game. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a much easier resource.
I agree. So, I think it was a good show. I think we had a good show.
I think this was great. This was great. We we talked about all the stuff I want to talk about except one thing, which we will talk about next week.
Yeah.
Same time. Well, not same time. No, same place though.
Same place. If you're watching this on YouTube, comment below your favorite loadout and why. Because everyone likes to use different guns, and I ascribe to the idea of having different guns every game. I don't like to use the same gun, but some people like to use very specific guns. So I want to see them. If you're watching this on YouTube, post your favorite loadout and why you like this favorite loadout.
And as always, the episode is on all the major podcasting platforms. Thanks for listening there. If you want to chime in on the conversation, you can tweet either Calvin or myself. And just use the hashtag Pex Pals to chime in on the conversation. Thanks for checking the episode out. I'm JoelCupcake.
I am CowVan.
The CowVan.
Let's
be clear. And thanks for checking out another episode of Pex Pals. We'll be back at you next week. And Calvin, what's our end phrase for the day?
It's okay. Hold on. It's always going to be beak, 6 feet deep.
That's fine.
Beak, 6 feet deep.
That's fine. Also to our listeners on that note, if you've never gotten a game where you get the double gold Mozambique,
oh god,
you haven't lived your life. That's all. I'm saying. Like Apex is when you win a game like that, it's like I've done a lot of drugs in my time, and it's better than that. That's all I'm saying. All right. Once again, I'm JoelCupcake. He's CowVan. Follow us on Twitch. You can find us everywhere. You can find me literally everywhere in every corner of the fucking World Wide Web. Thanks for checking the show out, and we will be back at you next week.